So with Pearse and Plunkett, Éamonn Ceannt is the third figure who's immediately placed in the military council when it's set up in 1915. Ceannt had been born in Galway in 1881. His father was an RIC constable. He was a shy, studious boy. He went to Christian Brothers school, where he would have been exposed to a kind of a faith and fatherland nationalist education. And then he becomes a clerk in Dublin Corporation. So in that sense, he's got a fairly typical profile of the revolutionary generation in terms of his background and his formative influences. Ceannt is politicised, like a lot of his generation, through what's happening around the turn of the century, particularly the 1798 centenary in 1898, and also the rise of cultural nationalism. And he becomes converted to physical force nationalism through the Gaelic League. So again, a very kind of representative path for that revolutionary generation. Culture was very important to him. He'd founded, for example, the Dublin Pipers Club, so he was very much involved in cultural activism of various kinds. Also, in terms of his kind of personal qualities, he very much represents an important dimension of the Irish Ireland generation. He was a very kind of serious-minded figure, very devout Catholic. He didn't drink or smoke, for example. He was an Irish speaker. He was very committed to his religion. So there's obvious differences there in some respects from some of the traditional, more radical Republican tradition represented by the Fenians. But in some ways, Ceannt represents much more representative forces of a kind of a Catholic nationalism and a cultural nationalism more than a kind of a 19th century radical Fenian tradition. Ceannt joined the IRB in 1911. He comes across as a very serious-minded revolutionary figure. Unlike MacDonagh and Plunkett and Pearse, he's much less taken by some of the highly romantic blood sacrifice kind of rhetoric. He's much more about the business of bringing about a physical force struggle. He's elected to the Provisional Committee of the Irish Volunteers when it's formed in 1913. And again, like the other figures who are immediately on the military council, he has very important positions within the volunteers which make him an ideal link between the volunteers and the IRB. He serves as the Director of Communications on the Irish Volunteers and also the Commandant of the 4th Dublin Battalion. So having command of one of the 4 battalions is hugely important in terms of giving him the potential to bring the volunteers into the insurrection when it comes off. In 1915, he becomes a member of the Supreme Council of the IRB, and sometime later he's appointed with Pearse and Plunkett onto the Military Council, and they begin plotting to bring about the rising.